Hi and welcome to another video from me, Christopher at DBG. So we're going to be building this baby. This is the Orc Quarters from Tabletop Scenics. This is what it looks like finished. I'm going to do a whole unboxing, build from start to finish, and we're going to do our giveaway announcement as well towards the end of the video. Hope you enjoy, continue watching, have a great day. Hi and welcome to another video from me, Christopher at DBG. So this is part 3 of our Orc scenery series from Tabletop Scenics. Now last episode was building this beauty, which was the Orc Barracks. Now they do spell Orc with the O-R-C rather than the 40k way of O-R-K. But it's Orc at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter that much, unless you're a purist. But now when I chose this building, I was in two minds of what building I wanted to build. It was either this or the Orc Quarters. See that? About the horrible reflection, sorry. That's better, isn't it? The distance, but oh well. So we're going to do this today. It's moderate rating 3, same as all the other previous builds. If you're wondering what's going to be one of the last bits, we've got quite a funky snack bar to do yet. And we've got a iron tooth Bastion as well, which looks an absolute monstrosity, and that's a rating difficult 5. And we have a custom bunker as well, and I quickly showed that off. So we've still got quite a few to build. Hopefully we get some Games Workshop Orc drops in that time. This is going to carry on building. If you didn't watch number 1, which was the Dakar bunker, that came with a competition from Pendraken as well, so check out that, check the whole series out. Hope you enjoyed it. We're going to unbox it now. I realised in the last video I talked loads, and it was about 40 minutes length of a video, so I'm going to try and not talk as much and concentrate more on the build, but I do like to just natter and generally hobby chat anyway. If you're like me, I tend to watch my videos when I'm doing a hobby, so I don't really care sort of the length of time, and I quite enjoy just listening to people podcast and stuff, so that's sort of my style. But I'll try and keep it down, just mainly because uploading 40 minutes worth onto YouTube took hours, and editing and all that sort of stuff, so I'll try and avoid it. But I'm here to answer your comments and questions as I go, and I do that generally as the next video goes on, so that's the reason why I say quite a lot on there. So let's get this open. Let's see what it's like. Now it's Tabletop Scenics, so they've got a direct link to the website where you can build the instructions, and also a thing that you can scan. I can never remember the thing code, and takes you through. But the instructions are in here as well. It's just if you prefer it digital or not, which I quite like the fact they offer that. So they finished building, like something like that. Quite a lot bigger, I think, than your Barracks. Not as long. But we'll have a look. Once I finished all this, I'll have all 3 out, have a comparison model with a Marine or a Leviathan, you know, those sort of things. Let's see what it's got. So the last one had 30 builds, 30 parts to it. This one looks like it has 36, yeah, 36 in total. Seems quite well structured, and the fact that it's square. And you see, that's all the instructions to sort of look like. You just follow it simple. The reason why there's loads of instructions is they do every step pretty much that you'd expect. So it is something you need to take your time with. Dry fit everything. There's a lot of parts. I'm just going to open it up and have a look. So we are. So all the parts are numbered, and every sprue is lettered. Now the number doesn't necessarily represent when you're going to build it. You know, it could say on the same Same section, you're building number 20 and number 30 at the same time, and if it says A, for example, then it will come from this sprue, which is the A at the bottom, and on here is 33, 10, 4, 44, there's all sorts on here, so it's always good just to get used to the sprue. Loads of different structures. There's B, those little bits come out. 4, C, D, and F. Which looks like there's loads of jagged edging on there, so that is quite funky. Now, something I forgot to mention on the last one. Let's get one of the sprues, which one makes more sense. So, if you can see it on there, very faintly, point down here, you see here where you got the little bits. So this is the reverse side where the details are. So you've got detail side, loads of nice bits. Then on this side, so you see here it's got like an outline. That's the part that you push through. So there's certain parts that you just need to look on the underside. When you take it out, have a look, poke it through. They're just sort of add little levels to the scenery. A lot of bits have it, a lot of it's don't, so it's quite hard to spot every now and again. But you just need to take your time on it. And there's F, which is a lot more tougher, MDF, so often this is used for the edging at the top, or it was used like that on the Barracks, where the other MDF is a little bit thinner. But they have an approach where you have your box and then sandwich on the other side, which is all the details and adds different layers of detail and stuff like that. If you don't understand what I mean, then watch the whole video and I'll sort of explain it, but I do explain a lot of it in my previous videos, so do take your time with that. MDF, give it a wash the residue out, it allows it to stick better and the paint to go better as well. So I'm going to build a couple of things at once, so I might, by looking at this, go up from 1 to stage to 6, just because that's the start of the actual building almost straight away, so that's quite cool. Loads of detail on here, really take your time, dry fit everything, just need normal PVA glue. I use pound shop glue. I'll take away tin for where I want to put the glue. Games Workshop brush from Conquest. Clippers to take them out of the sprue, but I also use the edge of the brush as well. Let's get cracking. See you soon. So we've done up to stage 5. Well, no, stage 6. Stage 6. What we'll say is stage 4 to 6 I did slightly different. So this is what it is. See, look at the door. Loads of cool detail on there. I do really like that. Yeah, the 3D element it's already adding in. So stage 4, it suggests putting on these two sides, attach them to the bottom, and then stage 5 is attaching this bit, and then the top, and then stage 6 is attaching this bit. And when you start building MDF, you've realised that you need to have some type of box or triangle shape, so it's got points of contact in every direction. If you just did this part, these two, which suggests to the base, they're just going to fall over, which they do. So, and if you just had this part, it would just fall over. So what I did was I used, because it goes into these walls, I put the top into this part first. It's got a contact point that's solid. Glued that. Wait for it to dry a little bit. Not all, you know, not overnight or anything like that. Just 20 minutes or so. Then put the sides on this side. Glued all the bottom where it needs to be, and then braced it together. So just held it there. Just let the glue do its work. Put it down. Let it dry. Therefore, it's got all contact points on the sides. got contact points on the bottom, and it's got a joint in there as well on one of the sides. The next part of the build is a little bit more tricky to try and get that sorted, because it's suggesting that you put parts by part, like one part here, one part there, and all sorts. So what I suggest, if you're going to, I mean, you could hold this, let it all dry and leave it overnight. I don't particularly want to. I think it's quite stable, especially for the next parts. What you need to do really now is plan your build, because stages almost 7 to 17 are all about building these, the filling in these gaps in a sense with the next parts of the wall that are going to join. It's more this side at the moment, so filling in all these gaps that join to the bottom and to the top, so you can get all that done. And then I think that's a good point to break, because the next part is building the tower up, and that's when you want the base to be really, really dry. So that's what I suggest. I'm going to give it a crack. Hopefully when you come back it hasn't fallen apart and I've given up. But main thing is to take your time on it. If you take your time, you'll be absolutely fine. And there's some interesting parts to it, like there's some interesting parts to it. There's a part on here that suggests that you're building up at this point, so it's only going to have the contact points on the side, but they are slightly angled, so it's got a slight triangle shape to it, so that might hold together by itself. But just be careful when you're trying to put other parts in, and that's going to be very loose until you've got a top on it, or at least a base. But let's see how it goes. Build it all up and go from there. Okay, so you might think that I'm doing this part and I've got really far. No, I'm still on stage 7, because I have only just worked out, and it took me quite a while. If you're building this while watching this, it's going to tell you to literally from 15A to 20A to start building this lovely door. Loads of detail, but they're not A. They're not A. They're D. So it's actually, everything on there is D, apart from 14C, which is actually 14C. So it's quite a little bit frustrating. Now I'm only saying that at this stage. I could be completely wrong, but I've looked at all the instructions to try and find where 17D is, to see if there is another type of window or vault anywhere on here, and it just isn't that I can see. So everything is D on there. So a little bit frustrating on that part, because I just spent ages, and I decanted A because I built half of it, got rid of the other half, so I know I've got the letter on there, and put the rest in the bag, so I'm trying to clean up as I build. So everything's D, try and match it. Can't see anything else. If I'm wrong at the end of the video, then just skip to the end and my summary, and I'll tell you I was completely wrong, but I think I'm right. That's what it looks like, that's what I'm sticking to. Let's get on with the rest of the build. Okay, so I said I'll do 7 to 12. We've actually done 7 to 18. Now, for the reason of that is I didn't need to do 18, but definitely 7 to 17 you needed to keep going. Mainly because you need to plan it quite a lot. So for example, stage, what is it, 8 is all about building this section here, but doesn't include the top or the sides on this side. Putting the top on is section, where are you, 13. section 10 is building like 3 little ruts around here, and section 11 is just building at the top. Then it moves back to this stage after that. Now, if you're doing that, it's absolutely fine. Just take your time and build it really slowly, let things dry a lot. What I wanted to do, and I keep saying this, I keep emphasising, is I want to build something that's got loads of contact points. Otherwise, it just doesn't hold, bits fall over. So I ended up building this section all at the same time, then moving on to this section separately and building that. So become a structure rather than just sides. For that, you need to keep flicking between what's going on and the instructions. You know, they're smooth, you know, they all fit, but the problem is if you well, I'm doing quick builds as well for filming sake, but what I find, if you just build sides, they don't have enough contact points to hold themselves accordingly. But this is quite a big structure, you know, still got the detail points it's going to go on. So if you compare it to, let's see, yeah, that's probably easier. If you compare it to the Barracks, it looks a lot smaller, but then I'm only at stage 18 of 38 and 38 and things like that. Well, yeah, 36 points, sorry. So 36, 35 has points up here that go up, so that'll look quite cool. Also, all the sides will have the three-dimensional approach to it, adding to layering, which I'm really looking forward to doing. This is a really cool piece of scenery. It is tricky, take your time. This is not the type of scenery that you can just put together and knock up in an hour. You do need to take your time through it. You do need to let glue to dry before you move on to the next point. So that's why I'm leaving this for the night. Otherwise I would normally carry on building if it was a normal MDF kit, but I really want it to dry first before I start adding on the extra layers and the extra weight as well onto the MDF. I really like it. It's got a lot of surface for what could be any army, but let's be honest, there's orcs on the top. You've got a second level. At the end, when it's fully built, you'll have a third level. It's a big blocking scenery as well. You know, you can't see through it at certain points. You know, you could argue there, through that window you could see, but I'd say no, that's BS. If someone pulled that on me in a tournament, you know, for me this is all line blocking, which is perfect. So the idea is I'm gonna let it dry tomorrow night, or maybe Friday night, I'm not too sure yet. Some of it's coming away. Gonna get the next part up, get it all done, and hopefully video will be up of all of this as well before the weekend, or maybe it might hit the weekend. I want to try and get all of this built before the weekend, just because I really like it, and it's one of those sceneries that actually I feel it's a challenge, but a good challenge, and I want to achieve it. And that's what I quite like about the scenery. It's not something you just feel like you're just doing it for scenery's sake and just getting your board ready. I'm actually doing it because I feel like I need to actually challenge myself in a type of build, and I think that's really important for a hobbyist, because we can get stagnated with the boring, mundane, you know, same models, same quick fit, same marine, same poses, all of that sort of stuff, where this scenery really does challenge you because of the amount of parts, because of the amount of element to it, and we haven't even done painting yet. So I really like it. Blink and the video carries on. For me, I'm calling it a night, just so I want everything to dry before I move on to the next stage. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Please add your comments as you go along. If you haven't already, subscribe. Don't miss out. Tick the notification bell and all that sort of stuff. But carry on watching. You'll see the rest of the finished build and the other 2 pieces of scenery that I've built as well. And we'll do a size comparison and a scaling comparison. Okay, so this orc structure is doing really well. So part of the quarters is obviously doing these sides. Now that's what stage I'm at the moment. You can see it's this part to do, which has got a really what looks like quite a complicated door, adding another 3D element to it, which is 12-ish pieces, and then all the front of it gets done as well. But if you just concentrate on the sides, remember what it looked like before. Now we've actually got all the detail in. Just notice that little door there. It's quite a big difference, wasn't it? There we go. Well, look at this door. Not door. Again. There we are. It's better, isn't it? See the steps going up. All of them completely, all 5 completely unique. Add a little structure to it as well. I really like those. Now this bit was really cool. I sort of looked at it for ages trying to find the parts. They were listed as B and they should have been C. Turn the other way around. Yeah, so they're listed as B, but these panels, it's going quite across, were actually C. So just have a look. Some of the parts are labelled a bit wrong on these instructions. Now they could be completely different online, but I just haven't had a chance on the line, so I'm just going by what's on here. As I go along, you can see that all these panels are totally different, have their own uniqueness, their own sort of panel structure, which, let's be honest, is pretty much orky. It's exactly what orcs would do. They would not build it in a regimented way, the same foundations. They would get some metal, they would slap it on, and that's the reason why there's big chunks of vents in there. The reason why there's different steps, there's different panels all over the place. I really like this. The next stage is going to be doing this, then the tops. I think once I've done all the tops, then I'll show you what it looks like after that, because the next part after that is just doing the last bit, which is the actual third platform of these Orc Quarters, almost like a bit of a lookout style of it. But you know, if you can imagine orcs on here, you've got structures to go on this, you've got orcs going on the steps, you've got big place for loads of orcs on there, you've got orcs on the top, you know, and don't forget, this could, you know, it's an actual building, so you can have guys inside it. There's absolutely nothing in the game that's stopping you from putting men inside this. Entrance points at doors. It's got restricted view on the on the windows, but they're windows. In the day, you can have guys inside there. I think that's quite deceiving. Is you could hide in there. Equally, you could put the objective in there and just put some grots in there. And just forget about it. Quite a lot of people do, especially at tournaments like that. Myself, I'd like to put something right objective, right big on the open, put them on the second floor or something like that. Just because I like having that sort of visual effect of the objective is something actually out in the open. It could be the top of the building, it could be, you know, but something that's not hidden away like that. But I've seen people do it. It's a style. It's something you can definitely do with these buildings. Or if some tournaments they just count buildings as impassable to go inside, not able to go inside or anything like that. But go through the sides, take your time with it. If you can't find a piece, look at C or look at B. That's where I found most of these pieces, either all around the sides. But I do really like it. It is so nice. The main thing is just taking your time with it. I mean, you see PVA glue's drying, setting on mine now, so it's becoming a lot more solid. I can start to feel the weight of especially having double MDF on there. I can't wait to get it done. I'm almost there. Almost there. I'm on stage something of something. 26 or 36. 10 more stages to go. 2 more sprues look like they're full. B, that's what B looks like now. Battered. All there is like edging. C looks pretty much the same. D, that's all I've got left of D. Big one, which most of this next part's all going to come from, is E. Haven't touched E at all. So that's where all these extra details coming from. So when you come back, I'll be right at a place to do the actual outlook of this Orc Quarters. Check it out. So there's all 3 of the buildings done. Now the quarters is done. I'm going to show you a bit close up on that, and then we're going to see the comparison of what they all look like together, a little bit more detail. Size comparison, I've got a Leviathan, a Scout, and just a Primus, a Marine. But before that, this is part of the giveaway video after all. So just using a random generator. Turn off the lights on my keyboard there. Mind fair. That doesn't affect it too much. So I've got the, random comment picker. It's one of the reasons why I didn't comment on any of the videos. I've got my address in the page, and then we're just going to press start and see what happens. Tom, you are the winner. And your comment was, been looking at 10mm stuff for trying out Warhammer, or mini Hammer. Was actually thinking about building a dwarf and undead army, so the giveaway would be great. Interested in the video, even though I am not sold on the aesthetics of the bunker. Well, can't convince you on the bunker, but Tom, you are our winner. I'll send you a message in the usual fashion. Hopefully you're watching this video to see if you've won. But hopefully you might be sold on this. So Tom, actually really cool that it's going to someone who already has or is thinking of a 10mm army already. So let's have a look at the bunker, not bunker, quarters, a little bit more detail. So move out the rest all the way. So we've seen all the sides, things there. So this was a nice touch. What I would say is be really careful taking it out of the sprue. Now it was a little bit too hard. One of the bits sort of came off. So I've added, excuse my finger, added a little plaque. So you get all these little plaques with an indent. Just add those orky fills. You can see one there, and I just add it on the side there just to add a little bit of strength. Now after all, it's going to have some. What's on the top? And it's got a little bit of wobble in there at the moment, but my PVA glue is still trying to dry. The other thing which was really fragile was these steps. Now they're not connected in any way other than just a simple ball and socket, but actually once the glue has dried, it'll be really easy to do. And you see when I'm going around the sides as well, a little bit of development is I'm adding like little spikes. Underneath there you see the detail of the door, but also now the 3D element on there. And what I was really impressed was I thought, oh, I'm done now, I'm finished. And I was like, what is this last little bits? Yet the build that didn't even have a number. I couldn't see a number anyway. It was these sort of like, the construction, 2 bits of metal, 1 bit in supporting, the construction beams, just going through the sides, and then around this side as well. And it just looks fierce from the front. And the door has so much detail. That's what's going all around. Now let's compare sizes. Now you had the Dakar bunker. You can see it is much bigger than that. Then we have the Barracks. and a Barracks, I think, is pretty much on par with it. Go side by side. Actually, a really nice comparison. Nice together, both sides almost the same level, but yet surface. Oh, you can get a lot more orcs on here than you can here, but actually for size of terrain, pretty much stays. So let's, it's really hard to compare it to a model. So if I go back a bit, we got the Leviathan. Put a bunker in there as well. So you can see the Leviathan. Take it in base terms, could fit on the bunker there. That's pretty fierce up there, isn't it? Let's be honest. Primus Marine. Scout can even fit in there. So, size comparisons. Size comparison. Come on, Scout. It's pretty tall. It's going to hide a Leviathan. It's going to hide a Rhino, especially at certain angles. It's going to hide Marines really nicely. You could even put, I think, Scarabs up there. They're going to hide. They're going to completely disappear in that scenery. Put an objective there and it's quite nice. Oh, so that is it. I really enjoyed making these. Little Leviathan at the top there is quite cool. Primus Marine, human scout on the top. Yeah. Just makes me want to play now. Haven't had a game for ages actually. I think the bottom line of these buildings, these three, I'm going to do all the rest as well, so don't worry, they're all going to happen. I just wanted to get these done almost in the first week and a bit, almost 2 weeks of October or Orktober. We've just had the Speed Freaks box set drop. I'm not too sure about actually. 6 bikes, two jet bikers. I don't know what they're called yet. The buggies look really good. I don't know if it's value for money. I'm still waiting for the price. I'd like it to be, around the £50 mark, but I can't see it happening. I can imagine it being 65, but I feel it's a lot less than what you get for Kill Team. And Kill Team was about 65 through, retails and eBayers and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. The scenery would look awesome on that field. Orcs building around, it's an Orc planet, I think that'll look really cool. So it's worth, picking up scenery just for that. If you're going to buy the box set, buy a couple of boxes of these. Really adds to the detail of the scenery. Bikes going around it, there must be some type of hidden tactic in there, or not being able to shoot things or hit things if it's standing still. Those sort of things are going to be in that dynamics of that game. But the main tip of this is take your time. Dry fit wherever you go. Keep a track of your numbers. Don't just look at stage 1, look at stage 1 to 10 or whatever that section is. If you're going to build it in, by stage, you're going to get lost, and then you're going to get bits breaking off because you're going to be trying to ferociously trying to snap bits off the MDF to try and fix it on where it should have been in stage 1, all that sort of stuff. You just want to take your time, dry fit everything. I think the level of detail on the scenery is so good and so nice. I really like the layering. I think painting it up, it's just going to have another dynamic. It's going to, when it's painted, it's going to look like it's almost as detailed as like the plastic Games Workshop stuff, in my opinion, if not more, rather than the flat MDF that you get. There's no way it looks flat at all. Even now, you could just leave it how it is, to be honest. Some people do. Your home scenery, it's perfect for that. But generally, I think this is the best piece of scenery I've ever built that is not pre-painted, and it's MDF and it's layering. I think it's amazing. If you've had better, please share the comments. You know, I'd be interested to know what other companies are out there doing similar stuff. But generally, I'm really impressed with it all. I can't wait to build the other 4 sets that I've got. I did exactly the same as like all 3 of these 3 videos, but I can't praise it anymore. Congratulations to Tom for being the winner. I hope you enjoy your prizes. I said we'll post it to you. You know, it doesn't cost anything and stuff like that, like all our competitions. But wherever you are in the world, make it a good one, and happy hobbying.